Professor Malavi Archi Kankanamge Lakshman Dissanayake was born in 1945 at Paravahara in the Madal district. After receiving his primary education at Na Autonomous Boys School and Godauda Mahavidyalaya, he won the 8th Standard Government Science Scholarship and entered Kalthara Vidyalaya in 1960 for his O-level and A-level studies. Despite the shortage of A-level science teachers at the school, he was successful in getting admission to the Faculty of Science at the University of Ceylon, Peradeniya in 1965, becoming the very first student to enter the university from the science stream from Kalthara Vidyalaya. As there was no physics special degree program at Peradeniya during 1965 to 68 period, he selected the royal combination of physics, biomathematics and chemistry as his subjects and successfully completed the BSc General Degree Examination in 1968. This was the period when Professor B. Appapillai, the head of the physics department, and Professor George Dissanayake and other senior staff were striving hard to establish the new physics special degree program at Peradeniya.
Lakshman Dissanayake was also fortunate to be among the top 10 students who did well in physics at the final BSc General Degree Examination in 1968 and selected to follow the first physics special course at Peradeniya. The first batch of students from the physics special degree program graduated in 1970 with excellent results.
4 of them, including Lakshman Dissanayake, were made probationary assistant lecturers. In 1972, Lakshman Dissanayake was offered a UNESCO fellowship and also successful in getting a placement at Indiana University Bloomington, Indiana, USA to pursue his PhD. After completing the PhD in experimental solid-state physics, he returned to Sri Lanka in 1977 and assumed duties as a lecturer in the physics department. He was the first US-trained PhD to join the Peradeniya Physics Department permanent staff. Dr. B.S.B. Karunaratne from the second batch also returned from UK in 1980 after completing his PhD from Warwick University, UK, followed by Dr. K. Premaratne with a PhD from University of Hawaii, USA.
There was hardly any meaningful research activity at Peradeniya during this period. In 1983, Dr. Karim was successful in getting a one-year fellowship from international programs in the physical sciences from Uppsala University, Sweden, to join Chalmers University of Technology, Gothenburg, Sweden, to undertake research on solid lithium-ion conductors under Professor Arnold Lunden's research group. Dr. Lakshman Dissanayake was due for his sabbatical leave in the following year, 1984, but faced with the same problem as Dr. Karim due to not having postdoctoral research experience. After much persuasion by Dr. Karim from Sweden, he also decided to join the Chalmers University under a one-year IPPS fellowship. At this point, Dr. Dissanayake had to make a lifetime decision to change his research area from optical properties of solid to electrical properties of solid lithium-ion conductors. In 1984, Dr. Lennart Hasselgren, director of IPPS, made a short visit to Peradeniya to assess the situation at Peradeniya for providing long-term research support.
By considering the possible long-term IPPS research support to Peradeniya, Dr. Dissanayake accepted the IPPS fellowship and started his research program at Chalmers University in mid-1984 under the guidance of Professor Arnold Lunden and his co-worker Dr. Bengt Erik Melander.
Dr. Dissanayake returned to Peradeniya in late 1985. As a follow-up of IPPS support, Dr. Dissanayake, along with Dr. Karim, took a bold decision in 1986 to somehow start a research activity. Things were not that easy. No adequate research grants, no research equipment, no consumables, no research students, no access to literature, no senior researchers to get advice from. Everything was a challenge. The group received basic research equipment and consumables from IPPS follow-up support to initiate research on lithium-ion conductors at Peradeniya. The old storeroom in the ground floor corner was converted to a research lab. This is still the solid-state ionic research laboratory of the department. They also recruited a postgraduate student in 1986 to be trained under sandwich program between Peradeniya and Chalmers universities. The group managed to present and publish their first homegrown research paper at the Asian Solid-State Ionics Conference held in Singapore in 1987. This was a significant achievement for Peradeniya and a turning point in the research history of the physics department. Mr. Kumara Bandaranayake was selected as the postgraduate student to undergo sandwich-type training at Peradeniya and Sweden in alternate years. The first ever PhD in physics to be awarded by Sri Lankan University was supervised by Dr. Dissanayake and his colleague Dr. M.A. Karim and Dr. Bengt Erik Melander during the 1986-1990 period. This was none other than Dr. Kumara Bandaranayake, who is serving in the senior physics staff at Peradeniya today.
As a visiting research fellow at the Institute of Fundamental Studies or IFS during 1987 to 1992 period on the advice and encouragement of the IFS Director Professor Cyril Ponnapperumal, Dr. Dissanayake developed experimental facilities at IFS from scratch for carrying out research on high temperature superconductors, which was a cutting-edge hot topic in the late 1980s, and also trained PhD students in this fascinating area of physics. His group was able to demonstrate for the first time in Sri Lanka the fascinating property of magnetic levitation of high-temperature superconductors at lectures and demonstrations using high-temperature superconductors made at Peradeniya and IFS in 1988. Under the guidance by Professor Ponnapperumal, he quickly became a competent organizer of international research conferences, which he continued at Physics Department, later at the PGIS, and now again at NIFS, serving as a chairman or co-chair of many international and national research conferences, symposia, and workshops. Dr. Dissanayake was appointed to Professor Grade 2 in Solid-State Physics in 1990, becoming the first professor of Solid-State Physics in Sri Lanka. In 1992, Dr. Dissanayake was able to receive a major research grant from European Union worth over 6.5 million rupees for a 3-year research project to develop new lithium-ion conductors, to be carried out jointly by the universities of Peradeniya, Aberdeen, UK, and INPG Grenoble, France. This project resulted several novel lithium-ion conducting solid electrolytes, many research papers, research equipment for Peradeniya, and also trained 2 PhDs specialized in novel lithium-ion conducting materials. One of these PhDs was Professor H.H. Sumathipala of Department of Physics at University of California. Professor Lakshman Dissanayake spent his sabbatical years as a visiting research fellow at Chalmers University, Sweden, and at Oklahoma University as a visiting research professor at University of Aberdeen, UK in 1992 and 1993, and as a visiting professor at University of Illinois at Chicago, USA in 2008 and 2009. Not many people know that Professor Dissanayake discovered a pentavalent chromium compound while he was on sabbatical at Aberdeen University, UK. In the early 1990s, he initiated research on polymer electrolytes at Peradeniya and also worked on dye-sensitized solar cells. Upon returning after sabbatical year at University of Chicago in 2009, collaborator Professor S. Sivanathan, Professor Dissanayake was able to initiate research work on cadmium telluride based thin film solar cells at Peradeniya and NIFS, and also the 4-year ministry-supported multi-university edu training program of thin film solar panels in 2017.
Professor Dissanayake, with the help of his colleagues at the Department of Physics and later at NIFS, was able to successfully organize several major international research conferences starting from 1996 up to 2018. Professor Dissanayake played a key role in the formulation and planning stage of the Postgraduate Institute of Science at Peradeniya in 1996. He was director of the PGIS for 5 years from 2003 to 2008. As the director of the PGIS, he was largely responsible for initiating severally national important MSc programs for the first time in Sri Lanka. These are the MSc programs in GIS and remote sensing, disaster management, nanoscience and nanotechnology, and medical microbiology. He was a member of the Standing Committee on Science from 1994 to 2003 and a member of the Standing Committee on Postgraduate Education from 2003 to 2008 of the University Grants Commission. Professor Dissanayake was also a member of the Board of Management of the National Science Foundation for 4 years from 2005 to 2008, member of the Board of Governors of the National Institute of Fundamental Studies from 2011 to 2018, Council member of the National Research Council from 2016 to 2018. As a board member of many important national level committees at NSF, NRC, NIFS, NSTEC, and PGIS, he has been able to contribute to the development of the S&T sector in the country. Professor Dissanayake has made a number of significant contributions to secondary science education in Sri Lanka. He is the author of 7 very popular textbooks in physics written by Sinhalese language for GCE advanced level students. These books are now being widely used by the students and the teachers in advanced level classes. Professor Dissanayake has actively participated in promoting physics education by associating with the Asian Physics Education Network, affiliated to UNESCO during 2003 to 2008.
He was elected unanimously as the chairman of ASPEN for a 5-year period from 2003 to 2008.
Professor Dissanayake has also contributed to the university administration as the head of the physics department of University of Peradeniya for 3 years from 1989 to 1991 and again for 2 years from 2000 to 2001. Professor Dissanayake was the chairman of the organizing committee of 6 international research conferences on solid-state physics and solid-state ionic materials and 2 international conferences on science education and physics education held in Sri Lanka and was the editor of the proceedings of 4 of these international conferences. At present, Professor Dissanayake is the editor-in-chief of Ceylon Journal of Science, the quarterly journal published by the University of Peradeniya. Professor Dissanayake retired from the university service on 30th September 2010 after serving the university for nearly 40 years. Currently, he is a full-time research professor at the NIFS, Kandy, Sri Lanka. During his period of service at NIFS from 2011 to 2021, Professor Dissanayake has trained many PhD, MPhil and MSc postgraduate students and many undergraduate students for their research projects. At the age of 76 years, he is currently supervising several MPhil and PhD research students at NIFS.
Professor Dissanayake has contributed to develop 2 science and technology policies and strategies for Sri Lanka. In appreciation of the service rendered by him for the development of scientific research and science education in Sri Lanka, Professor Dissanayake was awarded the Sri Lanka National Award Vidya Nidhi by Her Excellency the President of Sri Lanka in 2005. In 2010, he received the CVCD Research Excellence Award and he was the recipient of the /GRC Award for Research Excellence awarded in 2015 and NSF SUSRED Award in 2018 for the training of PhDs.
Professor Dissanayake was awarded the honorary DSc degree in 2013 by Vimba University of Sri Lanka and the NSF Lifetime Achievement Award from NSF in 2018.
මහාචාර්ය විද්‍යා නිධි MA දිසානායකයන් ජීවිතයේ එක්වරක් පමණක් පිළිගැනීමේ ජාතික සම්මානයෙන් පිළිතුරු ලබන්නේ මෙලෙස.
Most recently, the Open University of Sri Lanka awarded him with the honorary DSc degree.
Professor Dissanayake received presidential awards for research publications in SCI journals from 2002 to 2015.
Professor Dissanayake was awarded the Emeritus Professorship by University of Peradeniya in 2011. He has an H-index of 33 and up to now published more than 250 research papers, out of which about 200 are in international refereed SCI journals. Not only the Sri Lankan scientific community, but also the world scientific community has recognized the contributions made by Professor Dissanayake for scientific research by ranking him among the top 2% researchers in the world. Included in the 3rd edition of the Science White Author Database of Standardized Citation Indicators created by the Stanford University, USA in 2021, out of about 100,000 top scientists based their citations, H-index, co-authorship, adjusted HM index, citations to papers in different authorships, portions, and a composite indicator. This is a significant recognition not only for Professor Dissanayake, but also for the Department of Physics, where he served for 40 years from 1970 to 2010, and for the NIFS, where he served for the last 10 years.